Hello and welcome to the Black Cat Intuitive and to my latest reading, which is an intuitive reading on Teal Swan. So there has been some controversy around her, for some calling her a cult leader, some people attacking the veracity of what she said. So we're going to attempt to get to the bottom of that today. So I'm going to ask various questions and intuitively get what I get. So first I'm going to ask pure consciousness to clear my preconceived notions, perceptions, and ask it to clean all my tools, and then we're going to ask. So the question I'm going to ask, the first question is, who is Teal Swan at a soul level? So what I'm hearing from that is, you've got the moon card right here, is she's somebody who is sort of halfway in this world and halfway out of it. She's part of this world. She is almost, but she's in that way. A lot of people go to the other sort of worlds, but not in a way that they have control of this world. But she has sort of found a way to mix the energies of what is going on in the spirit realm with what is going on in this realm in a way that's quite, well, the King of Pentacles, it's about money. That's quite lucrative for her, but so it's like there's two sides to her, and I'm seeing an image of her she has kind of a split side to herself, like very split side, so that spiritual side, and then a side that's very like accumulation, accomplishment, like she really likes accomplishment and making money. I'm not saying that's necessarily bad or anything, but I just see it's like this spiritual, this super spiritual side that kind of goes into other realms, and this side that's really grounded in this world and is able to be like, I'm hearing her finances, you won't see any mistakes about that. She 4 of Pentacles, and we get another Pentacle card. I'm hearing there's not Pentacles. And I'm hearing the 8 of Wands. She really tries to move away from people or situations that are not good for her. She's very shrewd. So that's what she is. She's spiritual, but she's also very shrewd. And she really likes to, then the 9 of Pentacles, she really likes to, I'm hearing she likes to be in control of her own domain. And if something is not good for her, she has no trouble, whether it's a project or a person, she has no trouble cutting it loose, if that makes sense. Or if it's like, even in the financial realm, if something's going to cause her to like sort of, it's like she studies everything, and it's like she's trying to build this energetic empire that it will stand the test of time. She's very shrewd at what energy, and it could even, do I have what, like, it's like there's this sort of unconscious driving force trying to make this empire. She wants to create this empire that stands the test of time, and she may not be aware of this goal, but it's kind of running in the background. She really wants to create an empire that, the Empress, very much like something that's really burrowed into this reality, if you will. And she really likes to be in charge, I'm hearing. She likes to be, and it may not be readily apparent, and she likes to be in charge and victorious. I'm not saying that's necessarily a bad thing, but it's like, she may not readily always show that aspect to other people, like someone who's in charge, and like sometimes it comes out, but it's kind of running all the time, but it's kind of how she needs to be for her spiritual role. But she really, now she tries to, I'm hearing she's become a lot less, I'm hearing she used to be very compassionate to everybody and almost helping everybody, almost like she'd really wanted to be nurturing to everybody. Now she's gotten a little bit colder, like, and she'll just go away. It's like she's trying to cut off herself, almost the loving side of herself is she's trying to cut it off death. She's trying to end that side of herself that's end it, and then another end of her card. So she's trying to end some aspect of herself that is almost to getting walked over or something. Like she's just like, she wants to end that. So she's kind of trying to focus on the big picture, which is like creating this empire that can be helpful to everybody. She does feel very quite like she wants to help people. She does have, but it's like she wants to solidify something into this realm that is very, very powerful and helpful. She wants to fulfill her destiny, and although she's like she has gone over the target. I mean, she's almost like it feels like it's never enough, and it's like a paranoia that it won't be quite right, and she just it's very hard for her to relax and to she really wants to, she tries to really move away from aspects of herself that are just not positive, and she tries to be like, she feels that she hasn't been and I'm not trying to say this in an insulting way, but she hasn't been a cold like bitch enough, like to certain people. Like she feels that she was almost too nice to people, and just she was interesting. Queen of Swords and then King of Cups. Yeah, she was the King of Cups too much into and entirely, and she feels, whether or not this is true, but she feels like she really got burned. Her sort of compassionate, caring, giving to other people. Like she may have even given like money or I'm hearing treats even. I don't know, but like there is seem to feel a loving side, but she really wants to like curtail that and not be walked over. That's very important to her, but she really likes to, it's almost like it takes away from the mission that she's at. It's almost like she needs to do that too. But let's hear about her childhood. What was the universe here? Because there's been, like she said that she had a very bad childhood involving stuff. So the King of Wands, let's see, what was her childhood? Let's see, rigid. So King of Wands and then rigid. So it appears that like a male figure had very much control over her. I really had control. Oh, interesting. And then we've got erotic and wrong. So yeah, it would appear that what she was talking about, the stuff. And I want to keep this YouTube friendly, but I'm sure people who follow YouTube or follow Teal Swan can know that what I'm talking about. But the bad stuff that occurred to her, the SR something A stuff that happened to her. But interesting, you've got the male figure that was very rigid and controlling, and then erotic energy that was very wrong. So that would indicate that yes, she is telling the truth about her negative experiences wrought, and it was interesting. So a male figure that was very rigid, controlling, and erotic that was wrong, and then wrought. So interesting. Tell me about wrought. So that, I guess it's a psychological associate. So wrought. So almost rot and love. So almost like a rotten form of love was taught to her. That's what I'm getting from that. Is rot, and it's almost like she's waited her whole life to not have to have. It's been a whole journey through her life not to have rotten forms of love, both outside of her and within herself. It's like waiting her entire life. It's been her whole life to woman. Interesting. Yeah, she's a woman who is, it's like and also to feel like a complete woman. And then anger here. So we've got anger. So a lot of anger about it. Like it almost like there's anger that it took away her ability to be an alright woman, is what I'm hearing. But yeah, it's almost like she's waited. Her whole life has been about transcending these experiences and the rotten form of love, what she thought was love, which wasn't. And then, but anger, of course, there would be anger. A woman who feels anger, and then waiting. It's like something. It's like I think an image of her almost of just going at over it over and again, and just trying to release all these energies, like just going over like pattern after pattern, trying to get to the end of it, and find this energy that's not like rotten anymore. And that's basically what her whole life work has been about. And then depend, so it's almost like I'm hearing depending on the wrong people, and that could be something. It's almost like she, and boast, it's almost like, okay, we've got boast here, so it could lead to like something about boast. So boasting, if that sounds important, boast, but I'm not quite sure exactly what that, boast about her success. So she feels something about, should she boast about her success, or will she's almost, whenever she's almost like this shadow in her success, like where she feels, on one hand, she feels very boastful about it, but then she feels this almost shadow of guilt too. It's kind of like, at what cost, like almost like she feels guilty about, oh interesting, that she feels guilty about the people who are not successful like her. She feels that's what I'm getting, guilty about. So one part of her wants to be very boastful about her success, that she's, you know, she has all this money, and she's moved, you know, she's, you know, YouTube channel, books, she's what you call very successful. But then she has this immense, not immense, but it's like this guilt, like the people, almost like survivor's guilt, like all the other people, that she almost feels like she's betraying all the people that are broken and didn't become successful like her. Like the people, she almost feels that they're like a kindredness to all the people that didn't, that she should help, but she didn't. Almost like she should have helped, and it's like it almost different people that she should have helped, and she didn't. And it's like her, where she came from, and she feels guilty that she feels, on one hand, it's like it's very split. Like she feels, on one hand, she feels very boastful about it, and she feels quite proud in a way, but then it's mixed with guilt, and she's just like, but what about the people who didn't? What about the people that are not on that didn't succeed like her? The people that are on the street, the people who are, you know, humiliate. And then something about humiliate. She feels almost like humiliate. It's an interesting word. She feels almost, and let's see exactly what that word, judgment, humiliate, and then the word judgment right here. So let's cover this up. So she feels almost like humiliated and judged. That's a big thing that she feels too. Is like humiliated and judged, because I don't know why. It's almost like this side, everything is fine. She doesn't know sometimes what to say to people. Like she feels, she may seem very clear about what she says, but sometimes she just doesn't know how to temper it right, and she's kind of uneasy about how she comes across, even though she does her best to come across in an appropriate way. And she seems very confident. If you look at her interest, she's very confident, but sometimes she's like, am I coming across all right? Because she feels quite humiliated and judged. She feels by the public, like humiliated and judged. And sometimes she doesn't know what like side to put forth with people. Like, does she put forth the sort of powerful magician side, or the more softer side? It's like she's constantly having an identity crisis about how to portray herself in the world. Yeah, it's like she has a constant identity crisis. And so I'm going to ask, okay, what was okay, first I'm gonna first ask, what does the universe think about her? And then I'm gonna ask, what did she do in a past life? Because I have a feeling she may have done something a little bit off in the past life that may have caused this amount of hate that she's had. Like, she may have done something bad, but but the Eight of Cups is, and the universe, I'm getting immediately the Eight of Cups is that she makes people question themselves. The main thing is she helps people move away from their familiar patterns and busts people out of their familiar patterns and helps them get out of the Eight of Sword energy and move. And I'm hearing she's very psychologically manipulative, but it's not in a negative way. It's she makes people like up level and be the best versions of themselves, but in a way that is through the back door, by not telling people directly, but with sort of a way that almost like she programs people, but they're subconscious, but by giving them a positive energy through the front door is always positive, but it's calling people out on their BS without doing it directly. So it's like her videos, they're almost like they're almost energetically they're almost like a Trojan horse. Each of her videos, I'm hearing, are very effective. They're almost like I believe she does weekly videos. They're basically meant as a Trojan horse to get into the human's mind. Even every word is sort of designed to break down a level of the human psyche that's compulsive and unhealthy. And it kind of uses this particular energy, almost the same type of energy that will really work for human psychology to change people. Like, it's quite... So I'm hearing that the universe has quite a positive view of her, in fact, about and they say it's very bizarre because she feels some guilt, and lots of people put guilty energy on her, but whatever she's done that is guilty, or even in a past life that's guilty. I'm hearing that she's done some negative things in the past life, not so much this life, but basically it's definitely the amount what she's done to the public consciousness. It's very karmically positive for her, and it's like it's very helpful. Like, I'm hearing she's helped to heal thousands, if not millions, of human minds, and she's helped break many collective generational cycles, and she's very effective at that. And I'm hearing she has a lot of good karma for that. And okay, the Five of Swords and the Ten of Pentacles. So one is about defeat and bullying. Ten of Pentacles, it's about having money. So it's like she's, on one hand, she gets a lot of money, but on the one hand, it's like, and a lot of success, but I'm hearing the stuff that she has to put up with, the bullying, the kind of, she's had to put up a lot with the Five of Swords, like a huge amount, like conform, like people who wanted to control her and make her a particular way. She had to sort of burst through that and create new beginning of a new. She's had to have a lot of. She's earned her success, and she's really, she's earned her success, and she's overcome a lot of, like, she's really, her effect on the human collective is immense. She's really broken down a lot of energy that's negative in this reality, and she does this in other realities as well too, but she's really helped a lot of people overcome their pain, a lot of them even millions of people, like many people, and she's really helped a lot of people is what I'm hearing. So it's definitely I'm hearing that her spirit guides are very pleased with her and take her time. And they say she's very good at like being measured about what she does. Like she's measured and balanced. And she know it's almost like she knows what to do consciously to just sort of create the right energy and move forward and navigate this matrix. And she's very connected to sort of the elements of human like energies. Like she's connected to many different energies at the same time. And then so let's see, and maybe another. Okay, so I'm hearing that she's. Let's talk about her past lives, or keep. I'm hearing that she's kept her eye on the target this life, and she didn't so much, and she's gone wayward in past lives. So let's hear, what did she do in past lives? Because I have a feeling that she may have perhaps misbehaved in a past life. But let's see. What did she do in a past life? Let's see, joyfulness. Well, that's good so far. Joyfulness. What did she do, Lord? She was some sort of foe, but a joyfulness. So I'm getting that. Okay, what exactly did she do in a past life? Or maybe even a series of past lives. So she was in charge of something, almost like she is now, but I'm hearing it was a little bit different. But we've got joyfulness and then foe. So what exactly? Let's get some more information and see if we can sort of understand. What did she do in a past life? Be gentle with yours. I'm hearing that she was like heavily, and this is not this life, but in the past life, she was very narcissistic. Like a narcissistic leader that was almost possessed is what I'm hearing. It was like one minute she'd be affectionate, the next minute she'd be like almost like if someone disagree with her, they'd be unalived or something. She was almost in charge of, I'm hearing the word a faction. She was in charge of a faction. And it was almost like, I'm hearing this is one particular reality. She's had many different lives. This is the one that's coming up. Maybe I'll go into other ones in another video. But she was in charge of a faction. And she was really wayward or something. She got sort of possessed with like using a lot of different substances. And she would be really almost affectionate and then two-faced. And made all these decisions that weren't clear or didn't make any sense. Like she would do that, and it was almost like she was not quite the king, but underneath the king. And she would do, like she was just totally out of control with her consciousness. And almost it was like a paranoia of people being a foe. And so she became the foe to people. Like if she thought someone was a foe, she would just off with them. Like they'd be gone. There'd be so I think she managed to piss off some people in that life that may have come for her in this life. As I'm hearing, yeah, there was she wasn't quite stable and integrous. Like she would just if somebody did something a little bit threatening, she'd be, well, the king, well, we gotta get rid of that person. We gotta get rid of this person. And yeah, and she could be almost demoralizing to people, like almost demoralizing. Like I'm hearing if you were on her good side, everything was good. But if you were on the bad side, she'd be demoralizing and almost abusive to people, like abusing her power. And just, but it's kind of like she'd like just very like almost like a loose cannon. She'd be almost like a loose cannon. And then let's see what else. Yeah, strength. Like she used her strength in very unwise ways, and she was just like she would just, yeah, use her strength in unwise ways, and while almost being convinced that she was doing the right thing. You can almost see a bit of that stubbornness in this life, but it's not quite, it's not, she's not the same person, but there's almost that same kind of like, this is the way it's going to be. And then, but when she would decide this is the way it was going to be in the last life, it would be like, well, they're off with their heads, they're going to be, like, they're toast now. And it's just like she did, so she really pissed off some people, and she did that for a long while, but then she almost like a split personality, lover and sweetheart. So she could be really, and then I'm going to another life now, I think, before maybe another. So okay, I'm going to another, we'll go to another life. So that was one, she was just really unstable, in charge, like sort of a faction underneath the king. Even it could have been in Atlantis or some sort of civilization parallel to that. But I'm going to another lifetime where she was very, okay, lover, sweetheart, room. I'm getting she was very sweet. She was very sweet, and it's almost like she got walked on too much. Like she got, so I'm sure, just what I'm showing is the imbalance, and I mean, what I'm hearing is that there was a lifetime where she was sweet and pretty, but that's all she was. She was like, and I'm hearing all the guys liked her. She was very, attractive, sweet, but it was like she didn't have any backbone or spine. So it's sort of like in that life she learned, and it was like a room. Oh, and then a house, room and a house. So it was almost like a really nice, like a privileged existence, but no power, privileged. And she would almost be faithful to everybody who showed her a sweetheart wife. Yeah, she found somebody who was sort of like a dominant person who just ran her into the, like, ran her entire life. And she was supposed to be like this one person who couldn't be anything but that role. She had to be like this person who was very, like, going along with everybody, and basically she had to just self-defeating, and she realized at the end it was very self-defeating because she had no backbone, and she didn't have any sort of spunk, or like she was just somebody who would just go along, and no one really, like, she didn't have an identity. Like she kind of, in that life, she wanted to be, and then it's sort of like she made up for that, like she just had no, she just had a privileged, sort of almost boring life where people would just told her what to do, and oh, a guy, wanted her because she was, sweet and pretty, and she'd be like good arm candy, and then she just went along with it, and she realized that it was really, this was not what she wanted to do. Like she did not want to be this person. So at the end of her life, she was like, well, I will never allow people to sort of overrun her again, basically. Like it was something like that, like sort of not abuse her. Like, yeah, she was just like, I would never be a victim again. Now that's what she decided, and she decided that she would be her full self in a lifetime, and she wouldn't just soldier on being a kind of a arm candy, like almost like a sweet victim who went along with everything. So she would decided she would never be that. Like it's almost like this lifetime and the other lifetime where she was kind of out of control, and it kind of, she went from one extreme to the other type thing. So it's sort of like, in this life though, she sort of balanced it all out, hopefully. So yeah, that's a very interesting reading. I might do a part 2 on this. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Also, to add, this is just for entertainment purposes only. Alright, bye-bye.